a reel.
Oh,
Have you
they
heard of
don't
that?
even make them anymore.
No,
Something
no,
real.
I've never heard of it.
But that's probably the first car I rode with him.
Diamond reel, wasn't that the name? Diamond reel.
I don't
Had
know.
like a diamond on the front.
I don't know, but how come you remember that?
Because I have seen old cars. I've been.
Oh, really?
But was that the one that got wrecked in Philadelphia when the sailor came across?
That was the Ford. And it was during the war, and it took months to get it fixed. He was hit by a drunk driver across many lanes of
Now,
traffic.
who was hit?
Dad.
Olaf.
Oh.
It was like a Sunday morning, and he was
No,
or was
no.
oh.
It was a Friday night or some evening anyway, and we were having people from the church come over. I don't remember whether it was just the board members or something, but a group of people from the church. And he hardly told me anything about it.
About the car?
Yeah, till after it was over.
I mean, he couldn't even drive it home, could he?
Yes, he did.
Oh, he could.
But it was the frame, the outside, the body. But apparently, because I remember he brought it home, and I didn't see it till after they'd all gone home.
The same night he told you then?
Yeah,
And
but
you
it
went and
was.
saw it?
He could have been
Well, it was home.
killed.
Hmm.
So the other driver was a sailor then?
I don't
oh,
know. He was
where did the sailor
really-
come
That's
from?
what I heard. Something about a sailor that was drunk or something.
He was drunk. That was all.
But he was driving. That's awful.
And that was
But
when
we had a good trip back. You know, all of us, we had a good time.
So Dad drove the whole way then. And then
Yeah.
you sat in
Well,
the...
and Grandpa sat in the front,
Oh, Grandpa did
and often I think you sat up in front with them. And,
with them. They just
In
on their
Grandpa's
lap or
lap,
something.
yeah.
and then my three, well, you probably had a little chair of some kind, I don't know.
So then you and Amber and Edith.
Sat in the back. But then just think of all the luggage.
Oh yeah, you tied it on top or something? Or?
I don't remember. I'm sure we must have.
Amber and Edith. But Mildred and Gladys, they never came out to Philadelphia?
No. But during that time, I took Amber and Edith up to New York, too. Not that I would be a
You
good
were pregnant
guide.
then? Or no, that was after I was born?
Oh, yes, you were 14 months old.
And you took me there too? Or?
No, you stayed with Dad and Grandpa.
Oh, in Philadelphia.
This was just shortly before we were leaving there. So.
Uh-huh. There were movies of back then. I remember seeing a movie, and Uncle Paul, I saw pictures of him. Was that out there too? Because I was walking around with flowers in a park or something, and said, don't pick the flowers or something, and I went up to pick a flower or something.
I think we stopped in Milwaukee and saw Barn Ruth, too.
Oh, that was there.
And when we were in Chicago, Edith had to go back to work, so she got
Train?
a bus or a train, I don't remember, to Viroqua. She was working.
So then you had a little more room.
Yeah. But Amber went with us to Milwaukee. It was hot. Then he got his first ice cream cone. I gave it to him. It was a bad mistake, but I could not get it back.
You intended to get it for me, or I took yours?
No. Oh, I'm sure it was mine, and I gave it to you.
Oh.
But I shouldn't have let you hold it.
Because I got it all over or something?
Oh, yes, yes. And it was melting.
Oh.
But we were outside at a park, and it didn't matter.
In Milwaukee.
That's when you saw people playing golf.
Oh, I saw pictures of that.
Yeah.
Bar and Ruth and you and Dad and Alida. Now, was Alida on the trip with... No, she wasn't on the trip then, was she? I mean, from Philadelphia?
She couldn't have been.
No.
No.
There wasn't room.
But she and Grandpa were out there earlier.
Okay.
They were there together.
So this was when now? This was after...
The trip to Canada, right? When you left Philadelphia, that's what this was.
That's when we moved.
It was part, so okay, so then your sisters came out before while you were still living there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you went into New York with them and left Olaf with
Grandpa and Dad.
Lee. Mm-hmm. And then when it was time to leave and you'd packed up and everything, then you were joined by the other side of the family.
Yeah. Right.
Boy, bless your heart, you had a lot.
What do you mean joined by the other side?
The Storaaslis.
No, Bar
Mine.
and Ruth weren't out there.
My family.
Oh, just
Her two
yeah,
sisters.
right at that time.
And
Mhm.
Grandpa all took the car up to Milwaukee, Chicago, and then Edith left, and then just you and Amber in this back seat then, huh? And then Dad and...
Well, then why were you talking?
Grandpa.
Why were you talking about Alida?
Because she was in the picture golfing in
Yeah, well, she maybe
Milwaukee.
She probably was at Barn Ruth's.
Yeah, in Milwaukee.
Uh,
I think. I could be wrong.
she usually used to go there whenever there was a baby born and help Ruth and Bar. But I don't remember the ages. Kathy is just a little younger than you are.
Yeah, September. She's September,
Yeah.
I'm May.
23rd.
She looks pretty good.
I remember she used to crawl on her hands and her feet because she didn't want the grass to tickle her.
Oh. Was that when John David poured that milk on my head when I was sitting in this?
It wasn't milk. He
It
just
looked like it.
poured water from a milk jug. Or
Oh, okay.
something.
I
Wasn't
thought it
that
was
bad.
milk.
No, it was probably from a milk jug or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were outside a lot.
And it was hot, you said.
Yeah.
I don't think I can remember that because that was too long. My first real memory was riding the trike across the Funny Bridge there in Canada.
You do remember
Yeah,
that?
distinctly. I can still see the red sign, red and white Campbell's soup, and it was a kind of a traumatic experience because I thought, Mommy's going to be here somewhere, and then you weren't there, and I thought, She said she was going to the store, and I thought somehow that was the store.
Oh, really? You were?
So
Did
then I had to ride up the bridge over to, and then I came home.
Did you
there.
go up the Broadway Bridge?
No, I went down the Funny Bridge and then I retraced my steps
Yeah,
way up again.
Well,
Because I
that was-
figured that's the only place I can go is go home.
that's the best. You were very smart to do that for your age.
I don't know, it wasn't smart to do it. It
No.
just...
But I went to the neighborhood store.
I know, I know after the fact, but
Yeah.
I think I have a tendency to really get wrapped up in what I'm doing.
Oh, that's.
And whatever
that's
I
for
was
sure.
doing with my friend, I was, taking priority, and then you said you're going to the store, and I kind of halfway paid attention, and then after my friend went, oh, Mommy's at the store, I guess I'll go to the store and surprise her or something, and
Or
then
find her. But you were just
I
a
went
little
to the
fella
wrong
at
store.
the time.
I'm.
But I was good at riding my trike, I remember that. I could do it pretty well, and so it wasn't hard for me to go very far.
Yeah.
But I remember it was a little harder to come back than it was to go
Well,
down.
it was up a hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's my first memory.
Is it?
But I also remember going up the stairs and locking out Grandpa. And I don't know if that was after that, when I turned the water on and stuff. I remember he wanted to get in the room, and I knew he was going to discipline me, and I thought, as long as I lock the door, he's not going to discipline me.
Well, he wanted
And then
him to
he
come out because he was running water. And we had 6 seminary students living at this house, well, where we were living. So they had towel racks all around. Did you wash their towels too?
I had a lot of towels in there, but it wasn't overflowing. I wasn't that crazy. But
It was in the bathtub.
yeah, in the bathtub.
Yeah,
But Grandpa was afraid it was going to overflow, so he was insisting to come in.
yeah. But finally,
He-
Grandpa said, "Well, Olaf, I'm going down to have some ice cream."
Yeah.
He opened the door right away.
And then I thought, well, I'll turn the water off, and if he's downstairs, maybe I'll get some ice cream too. So I went down. And he didn't discipline me.
No,
I think he was just glad. He went up and checked, and there was no problem. But he was afraid it was just going to overflow and come through the roof or something.
I don't blame him.
But I remember that. Was that before the tricycle thing or not? I don't know. It seems like that was later. Because I can remember that much better, I think.
You know, you got me. I don't know.
Well, that was at 710 Albert. But
Yes.
he also visited us on 8th Street. I remember that.
Yes.
But that's when my tonsils were out and they were sick up on the fireplace. And that's when he was blowing smoke in my face and stuff.
No, he did that at 710 Albert Avenue.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember he was sitting on a chair in the kitchen.
He probably did it more than once.
Yeah, but I didn't like that.
No,
Nor
I
did
didn't
you.
either.
Nor
I
did
remember I tried to get away from it.
Nor did your dad. He didn't like that either. Grandpa was rather
Stern.
stern.
But you know, when I went to Alida's retirement, or not retirement, her... when
Funeral?
she... What?
Funeral?
Yeah,
memorial
funeral.
service.
Then there was a reception after, and they asked me to be the MC, and people would, and to invite people to come and say things and all. And then after it was all over, I sat down and ate because everybody else was eating, and I couldn't eat because I was doing the MC. So I found a place to sit, and this old guy came over that lived in South Minneapolis. He said, "I remember your grandpa." I said, "Oh, really? Tell me about him. What was he like?" And he said, he kind of looked real stern and all, but he really wasn't that bad. He was in
No.
confirmation class.
Oh, was he?
This guy was in his confirmation class,
Yeah.
and I don't know when they did it, but he said he would give assignments. And one of the assignments was to read a section about the Pharisee and the publican, and then be ready to answer questions or something. And he said he had not read it. He had no idea what it was. And sure enough, Grandpa Storaasli called on him and said, "Tell me about the Pharisee and the publican." And he didn't know anything except he knew there was an election. And he said, "Well, I think it's something to do with the Republicans." And he said he thought Grandpa would get mad at him, but no, he just laughed and said, "This is not any..." He said, "I guess you didn't read about it, right?" And he said it was like that. He wasn't real stern.
No, I know.
But he looks very stern.
That's true.
And maybe he was at
Oh, I
certain
think
times.
the kids had to toe a line.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of set standards, I guess. And back then, I guess that was done.
Well, you had 3 boys running around, plus Alida, and she was
Yeah.
a pretty good second. But, well, did you find any sales